Hello. I'm unemployed, I am dirty, and I smell bad. My sister is getting a hysterectomy tomorrow, and so I spent the entire morning at her house deep cleaning to help her out. And my brother in law. I barely know what day of the week it is. I'm a little bit hungover. I was drinking beer during a live stream last night, and I think that the first thing I need to do right now is take a shower. Alright, well, I've solved the I'm stinky problem just in time to take my 6 p.m. meds. My apologies to the people who watch my live streams because I'm gonna be repeating myself here, but this is the first actual video I've put out since I got fired, so I'm gonna just say what happened. I was very unexpectedly let go from my job without warning 2 weeks ago tomorrow. It's crazy that it's been 2 weeks. But yeah, so my boss invited me into a meeting on Friday morning, April 2nd, and then the head of HR joined unexpectedly, and she told me that there were job performance issues with me, that I suck basically, and that today would be my last day. And then she left the meeting. I talked to HR for a minute, and this was like 10:30 in the morning, and they were like, "All right, get your computer." So Fridays was a work from home day for me, so they're like, "Okay, grab your computer, get to the office by noon, drop off your keys, and do you need a cardboard box for the shit in your desk?" Now, I've been working in accounting for 8 years, but I have been in the workforce for 20 years, and I have never been fired from a job before. What really sucks about this is that they didn't warn me. I didn't have a performance improvement plan. They didn't have a talk with me. I feel really blindsided. When she told me that there were job performance issues, she listed two things. One was a to-do list that I didn't get done fast enough at the end of last year. And then the other was an overpayment that I made last month, which admittedly was a mistake. I made a double payment. That's my job at the company, is to make payments and to keep track of them. But at the same time, I caught the mistake right away. I narked on myself immediately. I said what had happened, and we were able to recoup that money within a month. So I don't know what was really going on here. That and my manager had been out for 4 months. I was reporting to the person who was supposed to be my boss's boss's boss, and we had not had a single one-on-one in 4 months. I was a team of one too. I had the entire area that I worked in. It was just me, and I was managing the whole thing. And so they've really put me in a bad position. I wish I had been given a chance to, fix whatever it is that they had a problem with me. Because getting fired looks really bad. And I Googled it, and only about 1/3 of people are ever fired during their careers, and I really thought that number would be higher. But yeah, so there's a lot of administrative work just to be unemployed. Within the first week, I had updated my resume and I submitted it to a staffing agency. They got back to me and I had a phone interview, and the guy was like, "Okay, well, tell me what happened at your last job." And I was just like, I don't know, maybe there's a way you're supposed to sell being fired from a company, but I don't know how to do that. So I just told him what happened. And he was like, to outright just fire somebody instead of working with them to like just let them go at a company for someone in your position, it actually costs about $10,000 to $20,000 to just fire somebody, because then they have to hire a temp, they have to have a manager who's making more money than you do your work, they have to pay overtime to other people to do your work. And so the fact that they were willing to spend $10,000 to $20,000 to fire you says that there might be a problem. And like, admittedly, this has been the worst year of my life. In the past year, I had a bipolar meltdown, and I had a manic episode and a depressive episode. I had to take a month of medical leave, and like my mental health problems did not start the day I left for leave, and it didn't end when I got back. And so like, admittedly, I have not been on the top of my game all year. But even so, it's like, I'm a human being. You're just gonna drop me like this, and like my health insurance is gonna run out at the end of the month. And bipolar disorder, I cannot stop taking my meds. I cannot stop seeing my doctors. But yeah, so I'm just kind of left with a big question mark here. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand why they would just let me go. But it is what it is. So it's really about, what do I do from here? So I had the phone interview with the staffing agency, and then I had a Zoom interview with them on Monday. And I mean, they still think I'm hireable. They've placed me at my last three jobs, and they get like 25 grand every time they place you at a job. So like, I make money for them, so they should want to work with me. But anyway, they were like, oh, we have a position in mind for you. And like within an hour, they had set me up with an interview at a law firm. But when they called me, the job wasn't what they had originally presented to me. They had told me it was a temp to hire position, which is, so you temp for 3 months and then they either hire you or they don't. But by the time they called me to schedule the interview, it was just a temp position, which means that that's several months without healthcare, without any benefits. And then after that, maybe another temp to hire position. That's another 3 months where I don't have health benefits. But the guy was like very persuasive. He was like, listen, it's easier to get a permanent placement when you already have a job. And this could be really good experience for you. And I mean, it would at least be good interview experience. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll do the interview. But then within an hour, I was like, you know what? No, I don't have to take the first thing offered to me. Even though I'm in a bad position, I do not have to take the first thing offered to me, especially if it doesn't align with my long-term goals, which are to get a permanent job, right? So I emailed him back and was like, hey, and he had already like set up the meeting in Google Calendar with the employer. And I wrote him and I was like, hey, I thought about it for a second and actually I'm just not going to pursue this. I need to be more aligned with my long-term goals. And I hit send and then I immediately realized that I put the wrong name on the email. Like, I swear to God, I have attention to detail. Yeah, I addressed it to the wrong person, and then I sent a follow-up email like, hey, sorry, I realized my last email was addressed incorrectly. Apologies. So I haven't heard back from them for the rest of the week, but that's okay because my name is in the books and I can directly apply to jobs through their website, which is good because I also signed up for unemployment. I signed up for unemployment through the state of Minnesota, and basically the amount of money they're offering me will cover rent, utilities, and food and nothing else, which I suppose is sort of the point. But at the same time, I mean, it's not a disaster, but it's not sustainable either, because as an adult, you know that there is a $700 disaster waiting for you every single month. And like when you're on unemployment, I have to request benefits every single week. Like, hey, I'm still unemployed. And they ask like, hey, are you looking for a job? And I'm going to have to like be looking for a job. So I have to at least like apply for a job a week, basically. I'm hoping that the staffing agency can set me up with something nice, I'm also trying to apply for healthcare through the state of Minnesota. Our state health system is a little screwed up because in order to apply, you actually need to find a helper to help you with the application called a navigator. And so they just like list out some navigators and you have to like find your own navigator. So I like email the navigator service and I haven't heard back from them. But yeah, my health insurance is out at the end of the month. And I don't know how long I'm going to be unemployed for. I've heard really mixed reviews about the job market right now. I'm hoping it's not too long because it's like every dollar that I spend, I'm like, oh God, oh my God. Because I applied for unemployment, but I haven't got it yet. I haven't been approved yet. And like, luckily I do have some savings. And if it comes down to like, you're going to be homeless, like I have a small retirement savings that I could cash out for a big price. But I'm really hoping I don't have to do that. And honestly, I was only at this last job for 1.5 years and I was going to quit anyway. Like, I wouldn't have said that online before I quit, but I was going to quit this job. I actually was. I had problems with the way that I was being managed, and I just didn't, my job before this, I was there for 6 years, and I loved that job. I felt a sense of purpose. I felt respected. I loved my coworkers, and when I left that job, I was absolutely devastated. But this job, I don't know. I kind of hated it. It would have been a lot better if I had quit rather than getting fired. I didn't know that they were going to fire me. Like I said, I had no idea. I thought I had job security. I was like, they'd be fucked without me. I know how much work I'm doing every week. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. I am 2 weeks unemployed tomorrow. I am looking for a job. I have applied for unemployment, and I have a lot of time on my hands right now. I am used to putting 40 hours a week into a job that's just emails and spreadsheets and ugh. I hate it. I hate it so much. My ADHD hates working and hates not working too, because now what I have is just an ocean of unstructured time. So I've been trying really hard to like keep up on a chore list, going on a walk every day. I've been writing a lot in my diary. I've been trying to engage more with my social media because there's only so much time in a day that being unemployed takes up. I mean, I have so much time. And like I guess that I'm glad that I have a little extra time right now because I can help my sister as she like has her hysterectomy and stuff. Which, by the way, she might be making a video which I would put on my channel. We talked about it this morning. She wants to share her hysterectomy journey. So maybe you'll see a video from my sister Amy coming up. I think that I'm kind of past the point of having feelings about getting fired. Like, I was really upset. I feel kind of humiliated at just being ousted like this. The company I worked for did tend to do this, though. They do just cut people. And you know, it makes it hard not to doubt your own competency. They thought I sucked. I thought I was doing a really good job. They thought I sucked? They paid $10,000 to $20,000 to get rid of me? And like my last job that I was at for 6 years, I quit because I got a new manager and she started looking really hard at what I was doing during the day. And she was like, why aren't you more productive? Why aren't you getting more things done? And in my mind, I was like, I'm doing as much as I can. I'm doing the best that I can. Why are you picking on me? But now it's like 2 jobs in a row where I got the impression from management that I just was not doing good enough. It's kind of a mind fuck. Like, am I not good enough? Am I not fast enough or organized enough for accounting work? Because that would be unfortunate since it's the only thing I have a degree in and it's almost my entire livable wage work history. And I don't really know what I can pivot to at this point in my life. It was one thing to go back to school and study accounting when I was working part-time at a furniture store and rent was $375 a month. But now I am 38 and the cost of living has gone up, I don't know, like maybe by 5 times since then. Both in, you know, just where I'm living, and I have a car now, and I can't go back to living in poverty. I still have my poor people tricks, which I will use to help get me through this period, but I cannot go back to living in poverty. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let me get back into my life. Let me get back into my apartment and start doing some things. The tornado sirens are going off and I had to Google it because it's not Wednesday. But yeah, I guess they're testing them today. I went straight to my sister's house this morning, so I need to clean up my house a little because I was drinking beer last night and I made a mess. Look at this. Disgraceful. See, this is the bedroom of a 38-year-old woman who sleeps on a twin-size bed who has self-respect. Isn't that right? Hey, hi, baby. Hi. Like, I'm such a scrub. What do you do with the hours in the day? Eat another sandwich? This is it for me right now, I guess. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. See ya!